So this Alvar says, go to Thiruvenkatam, fall at his feet, and seek what? Why do we all go to Thiruvenkatam? As Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvidya bhajante mam. There are 4 types of devotees who go and seek Bhagavan. Arti, Artharti, Jignasu and Jnani. Of this Arti is the category of person who's going for a materialistic want. Either money, give me a job, get my son married, get my grandson married, let me see the Upanayam of my grandson. They worry about their nth generation. That is Artis, always in worry. Arthartis are even worse. They go and say, today you gave me 10,000, but yesterday I lost 5,000, give that also. They seek everything that they lost, they wanted. They are called as Aishwarya Artigal, which means they go to Bhagavan for materialistic need. And then comes the next category called as Kaivalya Artigal, which means they are the people who go, ask Bhagavan for something. The Thiruvenkatamudiyar grants it. They take it and they forget the person who gave it. There is no gratitude, they just go back. And then there is third type called as Jnanis or Bhaktas. What do they want? They go to Thiruvenkatam, they ask Thiruvenkatamudiyare, I just need you. I don't need anything. I just want you, I want to fall at your feet, keep serving you. Do selfless service at your feet for your happiness. These are called as Jnanis. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, Bhagavan himself says, of all these people, I love these Jnanis. They like me and I also like them. So based on this, Alvar, Poige Alvar, he gives a wonderful passage in which he says, this mountain is approached by all these type of devotees. Crores and crores of people go. All these type of devotees come. But you know what this mountain does? It removes the sins of all these type of people, and on top of it, it also kindles their spiritual aspirations. This mountain kindles their need to go and seek Bhagavan only for Bhagavan, and that can happen because only of that mountain. That's why they say you have to step on that mountain at least for one muhurta. You have to be there. So that is beautifully captured by this Alvar. Bahunam janmana bante jnanavan mam prabhadyate Malai mountain that grants moksha pradatvam. So Alvars, if you look at all their 4,000 Divya Prabandhams, there is not a single place they talk about how to gain materialistic need, how to be happy in this world. They always talk about how to pursue Bhagavan, how to attain the eternal happiness. And he is Moksha Pradatvan, and that's why Alvars keep singing about this Thiruvenkatamuriya. Of all the Alvars, the most famous, Prasiddha, is Andal Nachiyar. She is the only female Alvar, and everybody knows about Andal. And Andal also sends messages to this Thiruvenkatamuriya. As we said, when Bhagavan gives that Mayavara Matidam, the Vishnu's knowledge, right away they understand the illness of this world. So they want to escape from this world as soon as possible. But Bhagavan waits for Parabhakti, Parajnanam, he grants them Parama Bhakti. Until they reach that Parama Bhakti stage, they make them wait in this world. And also through that process, he is helping us all. Only because of them waiting here in this world, all these Alvars sing these pasanas, pour their love for Bhagavan, and we are able to cherish them. So likewise, when they do that, what happens? Bhagavan sees their plight, sees their situation. So he incrementally gives them bliss. If you give bliss all at once, when you go to doctors, if some patient is really weak, the doctor will say, don't give them any shocking news. Be it good news or bad news, don't give to them right away. Give it to them slowly. Likewise, Bhagavan is also going to give this huge bliss, the greatest bliss to all of these Alvars. But if he gives them right away, the Alvars will not even live, they will not even sustain. So he is giving them an incremental process. So through that process, what he will do first, he will give a small amount of bliss. And then he will give a separation. Then in the next process, he will give a little longer bliss. And again, he will give a separation. Like this, he will prepare the Alvars for the Parama Bhakti state and then give them the moksha. So likewise, what happened? Andal sang her Tirupavai. But the union that she was expecting with Bhagavan did not happen. And so, we call in Aarti, she started singing Nachiyar Tirumuri, another beautiful set of poems, mystic poems by Andal Nachiyar. In that, she gets bliss and then she loses it. And so, she's kind of crying her heart out to Thiruvenkatamuriya. What she does here is, if you know the story of Nala and Damayanti, there will be a swan that connects Nala and Damayanti. The hero and the heroine are joined by these messengers. Likewise, Andal here realizes that there was a cuckoo bird, Koyal, which was present during the union of Krishna and her. So now she's summoning this cuckoo and saying, hey cuckoo, you were there when I was there with Krishna. Now he's not there with me. So can you go as a messenger and then ask him to come to me? Can you please go as a messenger and tell him my situation? My situation is, in separation I have lost weight. When people are happy, they gain weight. So now in separation I have lost weight, all my bangles are coming out of my hands. So go and convey this message to Thiruvenkatamuriya, she says, in this very beautiful pasanam. Sevvai, the beautiful Kovai Padam we say. He is not here. Can you go and call him? And she specifically sends a thoodu to Thiruvenkadamudayan himself and says, you know what he is doing? He is making me live. Even if he takes away my life, I will not be worried. But he is allowing me to live. He is infusing prana into me every single day. And when I live, all I think is about him and realize he is not here and he is happily enjoying my dying dance. Why is he doing that? Can't you please go and ask him to come? And this was specifically sent to Thiruvenkadamudayan. வெள்ளை விழி சங்கீதம் கையில் உள்ள விமலஞான குரு காணா உள்ளம் புகுந்த என்னை நினைத்து நாடும் உயிர் வைத்து பூதாடுகா. So her message to Thiruvenkadamudayan was successful. Now, right after she sent this message, he came. He came in her dream and gave the entire Varanamayam Padigam where in dream the marriage between Krishna and Andal happens. She wakes up from the dream and she realizes he is not pratyaksha, he is not right there. And again she goes back into the state of pain. In the pain state, she remembers about the beautiful lips, Adharam of Krishna, Madhuram Adharam, and asks the Sangalman, Panchajanyam, hey Panchajanyame, you're always on his lips, right? Can you not tell me about how sweet that is? Can you not talk to me about how he is? And while she is doing and talking to Panchajanyam like this, suddenly she hears the sound of rain because it was a monsoon season. And she looks up, it was raining heavily. Then she looks at the reason for the rain, there was this big nimbus cloud on top. Looking at the nimbus cloud, because Emperuman is also dark laden cloud color. You know, when you look at him, he is Karun Devam, Kannanennum Karun Devam, he said. So looking at that, she thought it was the cloud indeed has come here, but maybe it was Thiruvenkadamudayan himself. So she is going closer, analyzing it, and then she realizes it's the cloud. Now she is disappointed. She looks at the cloud and says, hey cloud, enough. Please go and ask my Thiruvenkadamudayan to come right now. That day Sita Pirati sent Hanuman, a living being. But here Andal's plight is so worse that she's asking a non-living entity like a cloud. But the best part about this cloud is it has the capacity to reach Thiruvenkadamudayan because it's way up high. So it can go there and this cloud is asked, go ask, pour your rain there and ask him to come and grace me right now. If he doesn't come, I will leave my life, go and say this, she says. This is a very, very famous Padigam in Nachiyar Tirumuri. Vinnila Vedapu Virita Pulveganga Vinnila Vedapu Virita Pulveganga பாடே கடத்தன் இருநாடும் போகானே விண்ணீர வேதாப்பு விரித்தார் பொன்னேகந்தாள் தென்னி பாடே கடத்தன் இருநாடும் போகானே கண்ணீர்கள் முறை குவட்டில் குடி சோழச்சானே கண்ணீர்கள் முறை கடல் கடைந்தால் கண்முகிலாளே Why do they all do this? Because they want to be in union with Thiruvenkadamudiyan and serve him. So finally, two other Alvars perform their Sharanagati, which means they surrender at the lotus feet of Thiruvenkadamudiyan. One is the leaders of Alvar called as Swami Nammalvar. He falls at the feet in presence of Pirati. You know, Pirati is Mahalakshmi. She is present right in the chest of Thiruvenkadamudiyan. In the Pasaram Agarille Niriyuventru, he falls at the lotus feet, seeking the blessing of both Pirati and Thiruvenkadamudiyan and says, "You have to redeem me." Likewise, there is another Alvar, chronologically he is the youngest, he is called as Thirumangai Alvar, and he also does that. His surrender is so beautiful. He goes to Thiruvenkadamudiyan and says, "You know, I don't have any qualification to qualify for surrendering. What is required to surrender is not have any qualification. That is the qualification required for surrendering." So Alvar goes there and he says, "Akinjanyam ananyagaditva," which means I don't have any qualification and I also don't have any refuge other than you. So I have come here to fall at your feet. And there he continues to list all the bad deeds he has done. You know, this is something we need to learn from Alvar. We are so trained in this world to always brag about ourselves. I know I have this degree, I have that degree, I am a student of this teacher, I have accumulated all these qualifications, I have this car. We are always trained to talk all the great things that we have. But Alvar teaches us to look inward and look all the lacks we have, all the things that we don't do really well, and use that and surrender. So this is very akin to how Vibhishana went and surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Rama. Vibhishana goes and says, the first thing he said was, his qualification, you know, the qualification is nothing but to let you know I am the brother of the Durmati Ravana, of the Rakshasa Ravana. So please accept me. Likewise, here Thirumangai Alvar also goes and says, "Theriye balakanai palathiimaikal seidhuvitte." He says, when I was a child, ignorantly I committed lot of sins. But you know what happened after I grew up? Periye naayina pin pirarke uledeiyane. When I grew up, it became even worse. At least when I was a child, I did them out of ignorance. But when I grew up, I spent my entire effort in helping, sustaining others. Pirarke uleithu ezhiyanen. I became sick by helping to others because we work for our companies, we are helping them gain profit. It is not Bhagavad Kainkariya. We work for so many other people and we don't take care of this Atma Ujjina. That's what this Alvar says. So I took care of my mother, I took care of my father, I took care of my wife. I did all bad deeds. I have done, bullying. I have done sledging. I have also done theft. And he says all of these things, and I am the sinner who have come here. The beauty is, Dashratha, when you know, his entire life he did good deeds. But at the very last moment, he committed the sin of sending Rama to forest. On the other hand, Shishupala, entire life he did only bad deeds. But at the very end, he was killed by Krishna himself. Now here Alvar says, I am neither like Shishupala, neither like Dashratha. Entire life I did only bad deeds, and at the very end also I am doing bad deeds. Pavame say the Paviyanavan Namirke. So please redeem me. And here Alvar says, the real mother for everybody, Nirupadika mother, is Thiruvenkadamudiyan, because he is the one who gives the Vatsalya Bhakti. Taye tandai என்றும் தாயே தந்தை என்றும் தாரமே கிடை மக்கள் என்றும் தாயே தந்தை என்றும் தாரமே கிடை மக்கள் என்றும் நோயே பகடொழிந்தே உன்னை காண்பதோர் ஆசைதான். Like that he comes in surrender. We will just end with the final Alvar. Without him, the Trivengada Anubhavam is never complete, and he is Kulasekara Perumal. What did this Alvar do that makes him so great is, he did what Sukar or Uddhavar wanted to do. They said, even if we don't have this human birth, that's fine. We need a birth in which we can go and serve Bhagavan. We need a birth in which we can take the Pada Dhuli of Gopikas and put it on our head. We need a birth where we will be born in the home of a devotee. Be it even if it's a worm in the home of a devotee, that birth is enough. So here, Kulasekara Alvar prays for a birth, and he says, this human body, we say human body is durlabham. After many births, you get the human body. But Alvar says, if the human body is not helping me perform service at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, then I don't need this human body. And here he says, take away this human body and let me be born as a bird, a crane, in Trivengatamalai. Swami Pushkarani is the tank in Trivengatamalai. Let me be born there as a crane, he says. But then he realizes, even this crane, what will do? Someday it can fly away from the tank. So let me be born as a fish. Now, the people like us, they said, okay, Alvar, please, let's stop here. You're going way ahead of yourself. You say you don't need human birth, then why are you going all the way up to a fish? Why not take up the birth of a divine being like Deva? Then Alvar says, no, I don't need that also, because Deva is human birth in extended version, that's all. There you live longer, you have better things to spend, but still that will also come to an end. So Alvar says, no, that birth also, it is not going to help me serve Krishna, I don't need that birth. So I will be born as a fish. Then Alvar thinks, no, let's not be born as a fish, let me be born as a Kainkarya Param, which means a loyal servant for Trivengatamalai. Because when they go, if you go and stand in the queue, you will have to stand in the queue for a long time. But if you were somebody who was a servant, who was doing service for Bhagavan, no queue can stop you. Be it Archaka, be it if you were a cook, or if you are taking something. Here Alvar says, let me be that person who carries the spittoon for Trivengatamalai, where he spits. Let me hold that. He says. So let me become a Kainkarya Paran. Then Alvar is thinking, even than that, let me become a Shenvaga Maram, which means like a flower-bearing tree in Trivengatamalai. Then Alvar thinks, if the flower falls on the ground, it's of no use. If somebody takes the flower, puts it, then they will think I'm doing it for my pleasure, so let's not do it. I will be born as a Stambhagam, which means like a stump, which is of no use. But Trivengatamalai is so cold. What if people, bhaktas who come there, cut me and burn it, then I can't serve there longer. Okay, then he says, let me be born as a rock, which means the rock can stay there a little longer, right? Then Alvar thinks, what if the rock is somewhere in that mountain range? It will not be any help for Trivengatamalai or also for the bhaktas, it can be somewhere. So let me be born as a path in which these devotees walk. But Trivengatamalai is so rich, he can keep changing his paths. There is no guarantee that bhaktas will come on the same path. So finally he says, let me become the footstep where Trivengatamalai, he's there, the footstep right in front of him. Let me become that. Why? Because that's the very footstep all the devotees will put their feet. That way I get Bhagavata Sambandham. When they do that, watching that, Bhagavan will be happy thinking I'm serving his devotees, and he will give a beautiful smile. Watching that smile, I can stay here forever. And that's why till this day, the footstep that's right in front of Trivengatamalai is called as Kulashekaran Padi. It's a very, very beautiful pasuram. And finally he says, even if I am not born as a footstep, that's fine. Let me be born as anything, any lowly being, but it has to be in Trivengatamalai, and that's the greatness of this mountain. With this pasuram, we will end our Upanyasa. அடியாரும் வானவரும் மரம்பயரும் கிடந்தியங்கும் படியார் இயங்கும் படியார் அடியாரும் வானவரும் மரம்பயரும் கிடந்தியங்கும் படியாய் கிடந்தவும் பவளவாய் பவளவாய் காண்பே உம்பருலகாடொரு குடை உருபசிதன் உம்பருலகாடொரு குடை உருபசிதன் அம்போர்வதை வேற்றாமலும் தலியே செம்பவளவாயா திருவே கடலில் செம்பவளவாயா திருவே கடலில் பெருமான் பொன்மலியே செம்பவளவாயா திருவே கடலில் பெருமான் பொன்மலியே ஏலேனுமாவேலே மலையே ஏலேனுமாவேலே பொன்மலையே ஏலேனுமாவேலே எம்பெருமான் பொன்மலையே ஏலேனுமாவேலே திருவேங்கடமெனோ எம்பெருமான் பொன்மலையே ஏலேனுமாவேலே செம்பவளவாயான் திருவேங்கடமெனோ எம்பெருமான் பொன்மலையே சரணம்.
Thank you. So this is Supraja Sriram and Amatra and Anirudh. So I know it's towards the end of the day. First of all, I have to really thank Mataji and the kids because they have been here since almost like 6 or so. We've been trying to coordinate, but I thought like maybe we can do it earlier. So they came at 6. Lord has his own plans. So, but their desire to finish this serve today, somehow Lord manifested it. And thanks to all the participants and the audience here, because without you, the person they get the satisfaction anyway, but they also their desire is to help other devotees. So when more devotees are there, their satisfaction multiplies. So that's exactly the mood of the sincere devotees. So we are very thankful that we have her presence today on this special day. I know this program, for me particularly, it's been 2.5 days of non-stop cultural activities, spiritual activities, upstairs, downstairs, everything. So it felt like something, really like we've just been transported into the spiritual world. Like Vaikuntha, Goloka, exactly how it happens every day there. And Bhagavatam, if you read, particularly in the third canto, the particular verses that we're reading right now, is about what happens in the spiritual world. Lord Brahma is describing how when his 4 sons have gone to the Vaikuntha planets, how the bees sing there, how the other birds sing, and then how the Lakshmis perform the seva. So it's beautiful. But here we have seen exactly that in action in the last 2.5 days. And this is a Nitya Seva, so we should be doing this every time. So first of all, going forward, we will be conducting a lot more programs. We would like to request all the different groups, different artists, different people who have some kind of talent. In the end, Krishna says that whatever you do, make it as an offering to me. So I think all of us are blessed. Thank you for ending a special program like this with your Harikatha. Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Thank you. And if there are any mistakes done by any devotees, anybody, it is not our desire to cause the inconvenience. But we also want to apologize for any inconvenience caused because the schedules were not necessarily all the time properly maintained. But in the end, I think if you take it as a blessing of the Lord, it's a good thing in the end because the Lord is also testing our patience and your patience. Thank you very much. And specifically, I have to thank Sukirti Krishna Prabhu. So without this Prabhu's help, I'm probably just saying whatever comes to my mind, and that's probably not right. But this Prabhu is doing the actual work. If people are hearing you, it's not because of me, it's because of this Prabhu. So, he has maintained up and down, going up. He's also done basically upstairs service, downstairs service, here, making sure that different participants, different performers need different requirements. So all of that is not easy. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you, Chakrabarti Group, for serving for the last 2.5, I would say 3 days, day and night, and keeping the energy going, motivating all the devotees, motivating the audience as well as the performers. I know conducting like 2 days of full culture program is not an easy job, but you did a fantastic job. So thank you very much for all the service that you have done, and I'm hoping to see more in this venue.
Thank you very much.